Alright guys, about a year ago, we sat down to talk about the L'Oreal Le Matte Resistance liquid lipsticks, and we are back again because they have decided to expand their shade range. We're going to be swatching all of the brand new shades. I believe there are 10 new shades here. We'll talk a little bit about the formulation, but if this is something that you're interested in, then let's get started. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. I have all brand new shades of the L'Oreal Le Matte Resistance liquid lipsticks. So right off the bat, if you guys did not watch my initial video talking about this brand new formulation, kind of my thoughts, my first impressions on them, as well as the core full collection, then I will link that in the description box down below. I'll have all my thoughts in that video. So if I don't cover something that you may have a question about, go check that one out first before leaving me a comment on this video, just in case I already covered it for you. I was browsing around on Ulta's website the other day and I saw that they had the Infallible Matte Resistance liquid lipsticks on the new page on Ulta, and I was like, these aren't new. So then I did a little digging and I found out that they had recently expanded the range, but they haven't really announced it anywhere on socials, not even really on their own website. I actually ended up picking mine up on Amazon so I could get Prime delivery, which was great. These retail for $13.99. It seems like these are sort of named after romantic themes. For instance, First Kiss, Summer Fling, Crush Alert, Wedding Night, things of those nature. I wonder if it's because they're going to be waiting on doing a full marketing release around like February, around the springtime. Wait, where are we in the year? Oh my gosh, it's summer. I don't know. I guess I'm a little stumped. Maybe it's because it's summer and they're thinking like summer flings. I have no clue. It does seem like, looking at these tubes right in front of me, we do just have another range of pinks and reds. Really not many nudes, which I'm kind of sad about. I was hoping that they were going to be coming out with more nude shades, but you know, it is what it is. As I swatch these, I'll tell you guys a little bit of information here. So like I said, these are supposed to be a liquid lipstick from L'Oreal. They're supposed to be more long-wear liquid lipsticks. They say that they last up to 16 hours on the lips. I will say I've never experienced these actually last that long on my lips. Not that I've ever tried to wear a liquid lipstick for about 16 hours. It's supposed to give you bold color payoff in one swipe. It's transfer and smudge resistant. So in that initial video that I did, I showed you guys that there was slight transfer with all of these. They were not completely transfer proof. However, I would say that they were like transfer resistant and smudge resistant. So for the most part, they stayed in place more than your traditional lipstick would. So the collection does start at number 600. It ended off at 560 with the shade Payday, and now we're starting it off with the shade number 600 First Kiss, and this one is described as a soft rose nude. It's still drying down on my lips, but I will say still the same one swipe pigmentation, very bold color here. Honestly, very easy to apply, and compared to the lightest shade from the initial collection, this one does pull a lot more pink versus like a pastel-y chalky pink on me. And I would almost say that if you enjoy lighter pinks and you're my skin tone, this one is actually pretty flattering. For me, I would probably wear this with a lot of lip liner, a lot of darker lip liner, and then maybe just use this on the center of the lips, but I don't think it's unwearable for my skin tone currently. It doesn't seem to fill in those lip lines at all or like smooth over them. You can see them, but I also feel like they don't look more accentuated than they already exist on the lips, you know? And then now let's press our lips together to just get a feel of the formulation again. Does still have a slight stickiness to them whenever you press your lips together, but they're nowhere near the Maybelline Superstay Mattes, the ones that come in kind of like that rectangular, longer tube. It's very similar to these, and the tops are white, and the bottom is the color of the lipstick. But yeah, one full swipe without like taking any anything off of the doe foot here. Pretty comfortable, I would say, if you're looking for a long-lasting liquid lipstick. Next up, we have the shade Worth It, which is described as a pinky nude. I really like the doe foot applicators on these. They are kind of like that teardrop shape, but they're super thin. So because of that, they do feel a little bit more flexible, a lot easier to handle. Some may find this more flimsy, but honestly for me, I like how pointed this tip is. I think it comes to a really nice, very narrow tip, and the flexibility to it just allows you to apply a very thin layer of product onto the lips without going overboard. All right, here is the shade Worth It. Very similar to the shade First Kiss in my opinion, but very slightly more neutral. I feel like First Kiss compared to this one does pull a little bit more cool on myself. This seems like it's going to be a very nice universal light pink, especially if you do have a neutral skin tone like I do. And again, this one seems like it's going to be slightly more wearable than First Kiss, but I would still probably wear it with a lip liner. Next, we have the shade 625 Summer Fling, which is described as a dusty rose shade. Another thing I really enjoy about this formulation is while it is a Longwear liquid lipstick, it does go on very thin, and you can apply it very thinly without having to sacrifice the actual pigmentation on them. No matter how thin or how thick you apply this, the pigmentation is going to be the same across the board on the lips. And here is that shade. On myself, I wouldn't necessarily categorize this as a dusty rose. I definitely do think that it is a rose shade, but more like a light pinky rose on me. Next, we have the shade Rosé Heat, which is described as a soft coral rose shade. By the way, these do have a slight scent. You can't really notice it whenever it's actually applied and like dried down onto the lips, but as you're applying it, there is a very subtle scent. I feel like it's more of a soft floral scent. Here's the shade Rosé Heat. Really beautiful, and actually I feel like this is a very nice warm rose shade. I think that I like this one. It's not my everyday type of shade, but it is pretty close, and I would say it's a brighter version of the type of everyday lip colors that I typically wear. I'd wear something a little bit darker than this, or maybe a little bit more muted, one or the other, not necessarily like this shade, but I could see myself wearing this maybe with like a little bit of gloss on the lips and being really happy with the way that this looks. Next, we have number 635 Worth It Medium. This is described as a medium dark mauve, and it's interesting that this is described as a dark mauve opposed to Worth It, which is described as a pinky nude. You would think that they would both either be pinks or mauves, not really sure, but I like that they went the route of having a medium shade for another shade that they think is going to be one of their higher sellers, kind of like what Charlotte Tilbury does with their Pillow Talk, how they had regular Pillow Talk, then Pillow Talk Medium, and then Pillow Talk Deep. I think it's smart. So Worth It Medium looks like one of the lip colors that I would definitely go for on an everyday basis. I really enjoy this one. This feels like a more sophisticated, a little bit darker My Lips But Better shade for myself. So naturally, I think that this does suit my complexion. This is really nice. I feel like this color for me was something that they were missing in that original collection. Something that is kind of like a My Lips But Better shade, not leaning too pink, not leaning too red anywhere. I definitely would say that this is my favorite of the newer expansion so far. Maybe also in general with the entire collection, but we'll see. Next shade we have is number 645 Crush Alert, which is described as a medium dark pink brown, and you guys know I love my pinky browns, so I'm excited about this one. All right, here is 645 Crush Alert. Now, while I do agree this does have a little bit of pinky brownness to it compared to the other shades that we've already swatched, I still feel like this kind of veers more towards a pink, maybe a dark rosy pink shade, you know, but I can see where they're going with the like pinky brown to it, because this does seem to be more of a warm tone in general when it comes to pinks. I think it's a really pretty color. I think that I may still prefer Worth It Medium over this one actually, and while I was applying this I thought that maybe I would like this one a little bit more, but fully pigmented on the lips like this, it does look a little more pink than I want it to. Maybe if I were to do just a small dab of this on the lips and then blend it out with my fingertip, it would give me more of an effect that I want, maybe combined with a lip liner. There's just so many different options and combinations that we can do, but in general, I feel like I do really like this shade as well as Worth It Medium. Those two, I think so far, are my top shades. Next up, we have the shade 650 Wedding Night, which is a medium pink nude shade. Honestly, with the suggestion of the name as wearing this as the lip color that you would wear on your wedding day or wedding night, I think it's actually a pretty wedding lipstick color because I feel like a lot of people tend to go slightly nudie pinky whenever they do their wedding makeup if they want to go for something a little bit more natural, and this seems like a very classic neutral pink shade. Like, I feel like it's not too abrasive by any means. It definitely brings out the lips, you know, but it doesn't distract from the rest of your makeup. I could see this being a really good formulation for something that you would want to wear as a wedding day lipstick because it does tend to stay very well. But then again, remember I did mention that this is not 100% transfer proof, so kind of keep that in mind, but it is a very comfortable wear lipstick. And I also want to note that I'm trying my best not to press my lips together as I'm applying the lipstick because I find that some people think that maybe it affects the way that the pigmentation looks on the lips. But with this formulation, I actually feel like that doesn't even really matter because you can go in with a very light amount of lipstick, press your lips together, and again, you still get the same bold pigmentation from these, which is really great, with the added bonus of having a thinner layer of lipstick on your lips. And if you wanted to build on top of that, maybe do a couple of layers for even more added wear or longevity maybe, then you have the option to do that with these. So I just wanted to put that note out there. I know with some of the shades, I'm not pressing my lips together at all while I'm applying them, and with some of them, I am pressing my lips together, but I think that kind of speaks to the versatility of these lipsticks because you can do either or and you're still going to get this same beautiful effect on the lips. It just is really dependent on how much of the lip product you actually want on your lips. Next is the shade 655 Proposal, and this is described as a medium berry pink shade. All right, here's the shade Proposal, and for me, this one is my least favorite just because these aren't really the tones that I typically like to wear, and I feel like it's a little bit more bright on me than someone that may have more fair skin tones, and alternatively, if you have a deeper skin tone, this may become a little bit too light and chalky on you. I'm not quite sure. The shade is really pretty, and I feel like we're not seeing any duplicates from the original collection with this one. So it is a unique shade, but with saying that, it's not going to be my most wearable color. But of course, to someone else, this may be your absolute favorite type of tone to wear. But yeah, this is what that looks like on me. Our second to last shade is number 660, First Love, and this is a deep raspberry shade. Here's the shade First Love, and for me, I feel like this is very similar to the shade Why Not from the original selection of colors, but this one is a little bit lighter, I would say. So if Why Not was a little bit too berry, like deep berry for you, but you still love a good berry, like rich shade, then the shade First Love would be a good pick. I personally think that this is a little bit more wearable for myself than Why Not in the shade Payday. It's a beautiful color. I think that this one does not make my complexion look too pale or too like dull, you know. I feel like this is a very neutral toned berry to where it still looks like a very nice pop of a berry tone without completely washing me out and looking off, you know what I mean? L'Oreal loves their berry tones. I feel like they really do berry tones well. There's something about it. I don't know, like they tend to have a good range of berries in general. So if you are a berry lover, L'Oreal's gonna have something for you. At this point, my lips are getting pretty dry and crusty from applying and removing all of these liquid lipsticks, but they're still applying really smoothly and beautifully. You may see my lip lines slightly more with these darker tones, and I can't say it's because of the darker tones versus the actual wear and tear of my lips currently. And lastly is the shade 665 First Move, which is a medium dark pink Plum. And here is the shade First Move. Right off the bat when I was applying this on the lips, guys, this is very similar to me to MAC's Heroine lipstick. That one is a purple. Now that is quite a bit lighter than this, but it seems to be in that same tonal family, you know? Like this one definitely is a true purple shade. It's a little bit deeper on me. If you do have a tan, deep skin tone, I could see a lot of people liking this for the simple fact that it's a little bit like, I don't know, more on the neutral cool side. So I feel like it would be flattering for a lot of skin tones, you know? It's not overly purple. It's not like, whoa, I'm wearing a purple lipstick. There's still something a little bit subtle to it. And I love when lipsticks are able to do that, where it's a more unconventional shade, like a purple or an orange maybe, or I don't know, something that we don't see on a natural My Lips But Better kind of color, you know, but there's still something that grounds the shade. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. I just really enjoy colors like this one that can be wearable but also be like really fun at the same time. And it doesn't seem like this has any patching, even though it is a darker shade. Sometimes with these darker shades we see some patching, some uneven pigmentation on the lips, but that was not an issue at all with this. Alright guys, I just popped on 2 shades here. I put Worth It Medium all over the lips, and then I topped the center with the shade Worth It, the regular one. So 601 Worth It and 635 Worth It Medium. So I'm not going to go too into detail on the formulation. Again, if you want to see me talk about that, then go watch that original video. But all in all, the formulation seems to be the exact same. The doe foot's the exact same. I forgot how much I enjoy these doe foots. I like how thin they are, how precise they are, how you can utilize the sides of them really well and get very nice precise strokes. It's just a really good design when it comes to doe foot. If you like a Longwear liquid lipstick, then you are going to like these because they are definitely Longwear. They dry down really nicely. They're not as sticky as the Maybelline ones. Personally for me, I think that I like these a little bit more than the Superstay mattes that Maybelline has. Not more than the Maybelline Vinyl Inks, because those are like the glossy Longwear lipsticks. I might like those a little bit more. Surprisingly, even though there was no obvious neutral brown tones, like no nudes or anything out of this collection, I still feel like the pinks, the purples, the berries that they gave us are going to be more wearable for at least my skin tone and my preferences versus their original collection. There's a lot more shades in this collection that I'm like, oh, I could definitely wear this. Like, this is something I would wear by itself, with a lip liner, topping something with a lip gloss, whatever. Like, I can see myself reaching for these shades in general across the board more than those original ones, which I'm really excited about. I know that a lot of people kind of have a gripe with L'Oreal for only coming out with pinks and reds that like basically look the same. And I get it, I totally do. I really wish that they would come out with nude shades in this collection. Once they do that, I think everyone will be a lot happier. So L'Oreal, if you can get on that, that would be so great. And in my recent makeup declutter video, you guys probably saw I only kept maybe 2 of the original shades. I can't even remember which 2 I kept, but they were the only ones that really called out to me, the only ones that I really reached for since filming that initial video. So for me, that says a lot. All in all, I am excited about this expansion. It's always really nice whenever a drugstore brand expands their lipstick lines. I think it's just a lot easier for us to justify buying them and justify buying a couple that we really like. And when we have more of a variation, it just makes it that much sweeter. All right, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about these new shades, if you're going to be picking up any of them, and what you think of this already existing formulation. Before you go, please make sure to like this video for me. It really helps out my channel. It pushes my videos out so I'm able to help more people out there looking for makeup experiences experiences and advice and stuff like that, swatches such as this video as well. And it also lets me know what kind of content you guys want to continue seeing on my channel. As always, I'm going to try to link all of these lipstick shades down below in the description for you, as well as in the YouTube shopping tag. If you guys are not familiar with that, YouTube does have its own shopping affiliate linking now. So if you click on the little shopping tag icon here, it'll just pop up and it'll take you straight to the website with the actual product, and it makes it a lot easier for you, and it also helps out my channel a lot. Thanks again, guys, for your continued support. I hope you found this video helpful, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!